Welcome back, everyone, to episode 288 of the Lookout Podcast. No, not 288, 228. Here we go. I'm not taking that out. We are back. My name is Meelz. I am here with none other than LJ himself. LJ, what's up?
How's it going, guys?
I'm about to be buried under about 2 feet of snow. So
sick. Yeah, we just got some snow on Wednesday. It was just an impromptu snowstorm, like out of the blue. Nice little snow warning. You know how we get down.
There you go. And we got none other than AD here, who I'm assuming it's like warm and delicious outside.
This weather is bipolar. I think I'm getting sick because it's definitely been like 70 degrees at some point this week, and now we're about to drop back down to like 30s. Like,
oh yeah, no,
for whatever reason. Like,
so what do you do? What do you do? What do you typically do when you know the temperature? You're leaving the house. It's in the morning. It's a fresh 41 degrees, but then it says like a high of 68. So what do you walk out the house with?
I walk out the house with a jacket, and then I'll leave it in the car. Like, y'all
niggas got cars. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Us New York dudes were fucking wearing our jackets everywhere. On the train, on the bus, everywhere. I can't leave it at work.
That bitch out. I will sweat that motherfucker out, bro.
I can't do it. With that said, a bunch of cool stuff happening. 80, you said you're watching this Brooklyn Nets and Hawks game. I just wanted to let everyone know that the Brooklyn Nets game. I went to Brooklyn Nets and Chicago Bulls a week and a half ago. When the tickets were presented to me, they weren't all tanking at the same time. But by the time we got to the game, yes, they were firmly tanking. Like watching fucking Gershon Yabusele and Anthony Simons and Colin Sexton and Matas Buzelis, who I actually like, go up against. No idea who the fuck are in the Brooklyn Nets. No offense. Michael Porter Jr. wasn't playing. He was like, nah, I'm too fresh for this.
Straight rookies.
Yeah, it was just straight rookies. It was Day'Ron Sharpe. I forgot how to pronounce his name. I just know it's
Yegor Yemen or something like that.
There you go. Because I'd be saying Igor Denim. And then I was like, you know what? That'd be cool because that sounds like some really like high-end denim. But it's definitely Igor Yemen. So it's the N is not before the M at all. But you know what? That's how we embrace you in New York. We just cut your ass. But definitely one of the worst games. We left at the end of the third quarter to beat the Shake Shack line. So that was that experience. But it's a terrible experience. I'm super glad for you guys that we're recording this last episode of GT. It seems like spring. Is this preseason MLB or is it spring training? Where are we at with MLB right now?
Oh, we in spring training, baby. But
yeah,
this year's spring training is a dud because you got the World Baseball Classic coming up.
Yeah, that's
what really everyone's waiting for. No one really this is one of them spring training years. You're all kind of just like, all right, spring training. It is what it is.
Just good to see them out on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just nice to know that baseball is here. That's just really what it is. But World Baseball Classic coming up. So yeah, that's what I'm getting excited for.
Explain to me the World Baseball Classic as if it were an anime.
It's a tournament arc.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Tournament of Power.
Tournament of Power. That's what it is.
And the losing countries get eliminated off the face of the earth, according to Donald Trump.
Yep.
Yep.
And
militia going in.
And the Dominican Republic is Universe 7. So that's all you need to know.
So the Dominican Republic is the favorites. Are there any other countries that are favorites? Like does great baseball come from any other country on earth besides the Dominican Republic and maybe Puerto Rico?
So Puerto Rico got completely screwed this year from the World Baseball Classic because of whatever insurance issues they're having with the MLB.
Oh, no.
So a lot of Puerto Rico's top talent could not play in this year's World Baseball Classic, which sucks. But the Dominican Republic team is stacked. Japan won the last one.
Wow. Okay.
So Japan has another stacked team. Obviously, United States too. So those are
Korea
the top
isn't
three.
bad.
You said who?
Korea.
Oh yeah, Korea is always a sleeper pick. They always end up making it, making it pretty far, or at least making it to a semifinal.
Okay.
But no, really, Japan, the United States, and the Dominican Republic those are the top three favorites.
Okay.
What universe was Jiren in?
Jiren was universe.
11?
Was it 2? No, wait, it wasn't 2.
I think it was 11.
I think it might be 11. Yeah, Jiren universe. Jiren Dragon Ball. He hails from universe 11. Oh, parallel to universe 2. That's might be where I got it from.
So yeah,
it's been a while since I watched Super too. I'm lying. I watched it last year, but it's been a while since I've enjoyed a Dragon Ball content after whatever the hell this was. So honestly, I might watch it again.
I mean, Daima. We had Daima.
We had Daima. This is true. We
had Daima.
But
Japan is essentially Universe 11.
Okay.
And what was the other Universe 6? Right, that's the one with Hit.
Universe 6 is like our counterpart.
Yeah. So then that's the United States.
Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm looking forward to that. That sounds fun. And when does this all take place?
Like early March,
right? Next, probably in 2 weeks.
Within the next,
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, listen. You know what? Didn't know, but now firmly excited for some international baseball.
March 5th to March 17th.
I don't have much news other than this Pokemon Leaf Green Fire Red scam that the Pokemon company is trying to push upon people. I don't like
good crack.
Good crack. All right, explain. Because this to me is a scam.
Because it's still crack regardless. But
it's nice to have. But also, can you just download it on your phone? And it's the same, other than home support and.
That's really what it is.
Home support. Is there any? And realistically, like, do I really want to transfer Pokemon from Pokemon Leaf Green, Fire Red to my home to do what with? To
Pokemon Champions that's supposed to
come out, but like they're not gonna have updated moves. They're not gonna have the updated things. You can't send them back, which is fine. I mean, at this point, why the hell would you send them back? But I don't know. Like selling a ROM for $20 is kind of insane.
Yeah, it is. It is absolutely insane. I think it's just the matter of having the Pokemon officially and also being able to officially. They haven't announced this yet. But like the mystery gift stuff where you can download and catch Deoxys and all of that stuff with like the tickets that you had to go to special events for. I think that's the other thing to it. But
so yeah, that doesn't move me because as one of the only few people on Earth playing Pokemon Go still, I have access to any Pokemon that I want to. I have access to all the shinies, all the Pokemon. I got them at great IVs. I got them at great everything. Like the cheat code is really just to like play Pokemon Go, transfer them to home, and then figure it out all after the fact. So I don't know. It doesn't really move me. But Pokemon Day is next week, so it should be a great experience, and who knows if there is a Mount Silver that comes from it. It really depends on the information that is served to us. If winds and waves are on the way, from what I've heard, this is just what I've heard, and I don't know if you've heard anything, AD, about winds and waves.
I've just been seeing all the leaks of the betas and everything that have come out.
I heard it is not coming out this year.
Yeah, I've also heard that it's supposed to be like sometime next year.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that, but no.
They gotta sell us. They gotta still sell us on what is it? Not Arceus, but Legend ZA. Like
ZA?
Yeah. The Legend ZA.
Yeah. They gotta let that run its course.
Listen, I look at everyone's teams. This is turning to Mount Silver real quick. I look at everyone's teams on Legends. I was like, this does not have a great pool of Pokemon to play. Everyone's got Pidgeot, Alakazam, whatever megas, essential megas, and then other few things.
I know what they're going to announce. They're also going to probably announce Pokemon Coliseum for Switch, the NSO pack or whatever, which I will probably play. Yeah, they'll probably do something like that.
Big Nintendo guy you are. You know?
Man.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not gonna fight it. You know, it just we know who you are. I know what you are. Is essentially the moral of the story. Let's get into what we came in to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we have to? We can keep talking about Pokemon if you want.
I am sure that would be preferred, but we have this tour that we're on. We're on the Grand Tour, and we're on the final stop of the Grand Tour. So after this episode, I think we can go back to our regular situation. There's plenty of winter anime that we have to binge and watch, because I'm sure I don't know what's going on in Freerun right now. Or
I don't know what's going on in anything, to be honest. Like
My Hero Vigilantes, I try to keep up, but I'm like, I'm good. JJK I'm pretty caught up on. I haven't watched the last episode because I knew they were skipping a week, so I'm probably gonna watch it right after we do this. But it's this winter that we talked about, haven't been able to catch up to it because we're watching what do we call this, mid? What's lower than mid?
Not even Reggie. Not even Reggie, bro.
This is Reggie. Straight, pure Reginald. This is the stuff that Grandpa was smoking back with his homies.
Woodstock. This is what they talk about back there.
Man, listen. This is dirt weed, man.
Dragon Ball GT, and it's unfortunate if you're fans of Dragon Ball GT. This is the episode where we're going to summarize it up. Essentially, my summary for Dragon Ball GT was the classic Harriet Winslow tweet on Twitter, which says, Harriet Winslow would get dressed up to go out with Carl, come down the stairs, whole audience be like, woo, she looking trash. And that has been Dragon Ball GT. But guess what? We're going to go over the last saga. So the last saga is the Shadow Dragon Saga. We're going to go over that on the lookout coming up next.
On the next all-new Dragon Ball GT.
Never judge a book by its cover.
The Shadow Dragon Saga continues. I call the electric slide! Goku and Pen find themselves trapped by Rage Shenron.
At this rate, we'll be toast in no time!
Can a little rain help the duo escape?
No! No rain! Not now! No! I'll be ruined!
Or make it worse?
Pen, get out of there fast!
Don't miss an all-new Dragon Ball GT. Tonight at 10. Only on Nicktoons.
All right, we are back here to go over the Shadow Dragons arc. It is the final arc of GT. It is...
You know what? It starts off so fire. Shout out to Black Smoke Shenron. That was the most ignorant
pulling
shit.
out the Cuban.
Just talking shit.
Come on,
Blaming Bulma.
Make 2 wishes. See what I can do.
Yeah, he came out talking like Don Corleone. I was like, hey.
So I actually took notes for this episode, okay? So Showdown with Evil Shenron it happened. We talked about it in the last episode. He comes out. Everyone's like, you're not Shenron. And he's like, shut up, bitch. And so I have several notes. I don't know why I wrote this first. I wrote, so do the Dragon Balls come out of his ass or what? When they all go flying across the sky and stuff like that. I was like, how did that work? King Kai has once again unfurled the plot. Well, actually, no, it's Old Kai who actually unfurls the plot this time. So Old Kai, who's informed them that using the Dragon Ball so much has interfered with the natural order of things. He was born because the Dragon Balls were misused. To which I say, I mean, ethical wise, I don't know if they were misused. It seems they were used frequently. I can't say they were misused.
Here's the other thing, and this is where it starts for me.
Okay.
We have already established that these are Dende's Dragon Balls. The Shadow Dragon Balls, the Black Star ones, don't even exist no more.
Mm-hmm. So they say.
Yeah, so they say. And so they're talking about all the wishes that were made on the Dragon Balls. And I'm like, you mean the ones that were destroyed when Piccolo fused with Kami? And then they made these new ones? And the wishes...
Didn't he revive?
Is it like...
I thought he revived one. Oh, no.
Is it like an HSA account at work where it's like you just roll over? Like, is this kind of a rollover situation?
Let's see.
Does like, Dende, you know, like just a certain amount of wishes?
Here's the thing. Didn't they pull it up when the Shadow Dragon came out and he was looking like, shit, I don't even know what the fuck going on. Like, I was just hitting the 3D printer button on,
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows what's going on with these Shadow Dragon Balls, bro, except for the Kai.
Right. So Dende is able to recreate the Earth Dragon Balls. So these are new Dragon Balls. These are actually not revived of the old Dragon Balls. So yes, there are a bunch of questions and things that need to be said. Blaming Bulma for the Dragon Radar and her selfish nature by Old Kai, hilarious. Blame you, woman of science. You know what I'm saying? For using your science to interfere with the natural order of things. So, according to how this all panned out, the negative energy is stored in Dragon Ball from making all these positive ass wishes. And they exceed their capacity.
You get one or the other. They're just like, listen, you either get a positive wish or some negative energy, or a negative wish or some positive energy.
So
that reverse curse technique stuff from JJK?
It might be. It says, and I guess they exceeded their capacity, but every wish takes 100 years for it to dilute. But the balls are used so often, much more often than it was supposed to be. So they have made a ton of wishes over the last number of years, since they found the Dragon Ball and created the Dragon Ball Radar, that all the negative energy that was stored up and wasn't able to dissipate. So then it forced the balls to crack and blah, blah, blah. Mind you, they still use the Dragon Balls to this day. In Super and Daima and anywhere. Feels like Namekian should have explained that.
Yes.
And why aren't Namekian Dragon Balls wreaking havoc on them? Anybody know?
Crickets.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, none of this just makes sense, bro.
The dragon is attacking the Earth from the inside, and that means the Earth could blow up again. Of course. Pan travels with Goku to face all the Shenrons. And yeah, my major question was, do the Namekians know of all the spooky shit that's happening in their Dragon Balls? It doesn't seem like they know, or at least not informed. Actually, I don't think at any point Dende is part of this conversation to really hear.
You know what?
That's going on.
I'm even going to take it a step further.
Okay. Talk about it.
I think they do know.
Okay.
And they just want to see what happens. They just like, fuck it. They just like, let's see what happens, bro.
I don't... If they do know, that's infuriating.
Yeah, you know, that's a little fucked up, ain't it? Like, damn, you niggas know that this was gonna happen. Y'all just kept letting us use them.
Like, yeah, but then they used the Namekian Dragon Balls like 2 weeks ago.
They make that, but listen, the Namekian, they may give them a dummy break. This may be like,
that's true.
This
Namekian
may be
Dragon
like,
Balls are bigger, so maybe more negative energy actually needs to be used. But who knows? Maybe the negative energy from the Namekian Dragon Balls is actually what destroyed the original Namek.
I mean, but also, and this is just a lot of coping, but just the fact of they don't really use their wishes that often.
Yeah.
Like, they just keep them in separate villages. Yeah. Until Frieza pulled up, it wasn't no problems.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And there are multiple Dragon Balls all over universes, including the Super Dragon Balls, which God help us all. So the second part I have is the search for the Shadow Dragons, which this part of the story in my notes says it feels like something from Dragon Ball, but way less fun. Dragon Ball Daima levels up this experience with the introduction of the Tamagamis. But while the fights are different, they don't feel relevant or good at all. In fact, other than Omega Shenron, there's probably a good reason none of these folks ends up in any of the games. Like none of the Shenrons are really in any of the games. They're not even like unlockable. Like we've got every character from Dragon Ball. It's like, nah, except the Shenrons. Fuck them. How did we feel about the search for the Shadow Dragons in order to get these Dragon Balls? Just an overarching. We'll get through each one of them one by one. Not particularly long though, because these niggas is not shit. But
these niggas is ass until you get to the end.
Yeah, but
I feel like this perpetuates this is really where the Can Goku beat Superman conversations come from, in my opinion. Like this nigga acts like Captain Planet practically the entire time.
He is. This is the part, and I spoke about it with AD just seconds before you actually came on, LJ, which literally made me say, like, did white people write Dragon Ball GT?
Feels like it.
It did. This doesn't feel inherently like close to anything. So here's my thing: if the Shadow Dragons, I felt like could have been better. They could have been Tamagamis, but they also could have been better if they could have like symbolized actual things in Japanese mythology, things in Japanese culture, things in Japanese thing. They're like moles and dinosaurs and spirits and all these other things that kind of come through. So we're going to go through each of these Shenrons one by one, because this arc is pretty much them bouncing from Shenron to collect all the Dragon Balls, which is essentially like the first arc, except less boring, but just as irrelevant. Yeah. The first one we got is Haze Shenron, a poison type. Pretty much only good is if his toxic and pollution element takes a toll on his enemies. If I had to compare him to an actual poison type, so we're comparing a lot of these to Pokemon, I would go Muck.
I was just about to say Muck.
Yeah, Grimer, Muck. Especially that one pool in Celadon City or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at he remembers.
Yeah,
he was born into this. He was born from the wish that revived Upa's father. Way to make him feel terrible for doing that. They beat him by finding a spring of. This isn't even like fighting. They beat him by finding a spring of clean water that cleans the ocean. And then Goku and Pan use a joint Kamehameha to kill him.
And they can breathe underwater during all of this.
Yeah.
And they speak telepathically.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, bro. There's some things that's happening here. I was like, where did these powers come from?
Speak telepathically, man. They just suddenly, without being able to talk, they're like, how can we explain this? It's like, well, they have telepathic powers, obviously. This introduction to me was like, okay, this is about to be very lame. Next we got to Raid Shenron, who's an electric type who uses poison slime. Uses his slime to electrocute his enemies. Born from the wish of reviving Goku to fight Nappa and Vegeta. I mean,
I feel that none of these
have particular relevance.
Yeah, there's no relevance to any of these. And also too, if that, like, I feel that if that's the wish that created you, you should be a little bit stronger. That's a pretty heavy wish during a heavy moment.
I mean, it revives one guy. So, do we have a master list of all the wishes from Dragon Ball? Let me see.
I can think of a fair amount of them.
We'll pull them up afterwards. I got a list right now. So from there on, if he was a Pokemon, I would say Toxtricity from one of the later gens. Just built, its profile fits it. They beat him because it rains, and he becomes small, and then they blow him away with the Kamehameha. So the Kamehameha is really getting put over in this section of the arc. It's really picking up. Next one is Oceanus Shenron. Came from the wish where Oolong wished for panties.
The very first wish in Dragon Ball.
Very first wish. They beat her when they shoot a Kamehameha into a tornado, and then it reverts back to its real form, and then they actually kill her again.
I'll say this was probably the best Pan moment, simply because it's her first Kamehameha.
Look at that. Look at that. So, I mean, best Pan moment. It's oxymoron.
Yeah.
But it is the most tolerable Pan moment. Not a lot of development for Pan in this arc. You would think there would be, but no. They forego all of that. They forego development for almost everything in the series, which is why Dragon Ball GT is just not. It just doesn't hold up well. There's legitimately no development.
Here's the funniest
character in the show. Go on.
Here's the funniest part about all of this is that notice how we've only been talking about Pan and Goku. Meanwhile, everybody else is at Capsule Corp, sitting around drinking tea, having a cookout or whatever. And they're like, I hope they're okay. Vegeta, where are you, dog? Like,
my favorite part is when everyone pulls up to the fight for no reason. because the Earth was about to be destroyed and they didn't want to sit around and wait. And I was like, okay, couldn't you have pulled actually relevant people? Why is Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl here? You couldn't have grabbed Yamcha, Tien, Chaozu.
Tien was nowhere to be found this entire time.
Like, you couldn't have pulled up actual people who have saved the Earth? Krillin. Is Krillin still dead? No, Krillin's
still dead.
He's alive at the end. Like, he went.
When did they re-alive him?
It might have been. When did they wish Krillin back?
That's because the Dragon Balls were broken at that time. Like, and then they just scattered off. Like,
yeah. All right. So when does Krillin? All right. Now I got to look it up. When does Krillin? This is gonna go in my like what if questions that I completely missed out on. Like when does Goku get his sight back?
What it was? It was probably the very last wish. It might have been the very last wish that Goku made.
Let me see. Let me just make sure.
That's that because he didn't appear any time before that.
We're assuming.
Yeah.
But we don't have any actual facts of like when he was actually wished back. Shadow Dragon Saga. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Fandom page. Oh, after defeating Omega Shenron, Goku wishes to revive everyone who was killed during Super 17 and Shadow Dragon Saga. Okay. So that is a thing. From there on, we get to Naruto Shenron?
Oh, Natron.
Natron, I'm sorry. A purple mole-like dragon which digs underground and causes an earthquake. If it were Pokemon, I would call it Excadrill. And it is spawned from when Vegeta killed all of those folks at the tournament.
Once again, somehow, some way, the wish does not match up with whatever the hell we're looking at here.
It's irrelevant. It's nice to know, but it's ultimately irrelevant.
It's like, are y'all trying to like guilt trip Goku every time y'all tell him what wish it was that made him like that created the whatever Shenron it is? Because like if you really think about the context of the situation, it's like, well, I mean, I feel that's a reasonable wish. Like, why wouldn't they make that wish? I don't know.
I guess people are supposed to stay dead. Like, no matter the situation or the ethics of it, if you die, you stay dead.
Yeah, but those rules only apply in Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
I think they try to talk about it with like Beerus, him being a destroyer and all. I think it's handled way better than here.
Right. So the ball ends up possessing Pan at some point. This is the only fight. Well, this is one of the only fights where Goku eventually turns Super Saiyan 4. They remove Pan from the ball and they kill him with another Kamehameha. So, they're like racking these up. I'm gonna get to the Vegeta.
And also,
I'm gonna get to the Vegeta thing later. By the way, just a heads up. But go on.
Also, I really hate these Super Saiyan 4 transformations. They're so bad. Like, it's a great form but it's the transformation is so trash. He's just like Super Saiyan 4, and he's just like pops and becomes an adult, and I'm just like, well, that was cool, I guess. I don't know. Like, there's no lead up, no nothing.
No, not at all.
Shazam thing, you know.
Yeah, it's like Shazam, but then he's Super Saiyan 4, and then he gets punched.
It's crazy.
Then he gets punched, and he comes out the rubble as a kid, and he's like, oh, damn. Like,
it's just, there's not, they decided to forego any transformation sequence or anything. I mean, it's, again, as we see later on, they don't do this later on. When you transform, it's an event. When Vegeta transforms to Super Saiyan 3 in Daima, it is an event. And he does it twice. And each time they made it a thing. Even when Goku turned Super Saiyan 4 as a kid and an adult in Daima, it's an event. Transformations are nothing to shake at anymore. So they don't just happen casually like they happen in this arc. Moving on, Nova Shenron, the fire type. I was struggling really to find a thing to compare it to. It's either I would either compare him to either Infernape or hold on. There's a better one.
I was gonna call him.
Did we just skip over Oceanus?
No, we did Oceanus.
Oh, we did do the Oceanus?
Yeah, it shoots a Kamehameha into a tornado.
Oh yeah.
Or Heatran.
I was gonna call him Moltres just so Ice can be Articuno.
Okay, let's do that. We call him Moltres for right now. They get to fight and they develop a respectful. I'm so confused of why this one Shenron is like, mind you, not a dragon. At least none of these have been dragons thus far.
Oh yeah, none of them. We've had a mole. We've had a really large frog.
We've had a human.
We got a. Never mind. I was going to say something, but I was going to say something. But never mind.
Yeah, don't do anything. Don't say anything. Potentially fictionally racist.
It wasn't been racist, but definitely would have teetered the line of other phobias.
To wildin'.
It happens. You would have been wilding. Yes, that's the end of the day. Nova Shenron and Goku have their respect for one another, and they're fighting. And he's like, "You saved me from doing this, and I'm going to save you. And I just hope we have the best fight." And I'm just like, "What is going on here?"
It's because it's the
he has the Dragon Ball.
That's all it is. He's the 4-star ball.
Yeah, it's true. His brother, who doesn't give Ice Shenron, random ice type, we can call Articuno, asshole. His asshole brother freezes his limbs, kidnaps Pan, steals the Dragon Ball.
Oh, I will say the fact that Pan was knocked out but still getting her ass kicked, hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Didn't care. I call this moment a rare W by villain. Blinds Goku. Didn't see it coming. I felt like Mike Breen would have let out, "And he blinds Goku. What a call. What a move." Like, because it's just he swipes up, and I guess, I don't know, maybe there's poison in whatever the hell he's got going on. But I was like, the mere fact Goku still kills him while he's blind, by the way. Completely punches him through the stomach with a dragon fist and bodies him. But he's still blind.
We're gonna talk about how Goku is a 5-move merchant this entire series.
I'm blaming GT because Goku is way more of a stronger, notable, smarter fighter than all of this.
The funniest part to me in some of this is like he uses solar flare and Nova like passes out. And he's like, "Yeah, you got hit by a solar flare? That knocked you out."
It's just like we've seen. So once I saw the tournament of power and everything like that, I was like, "Oh, Goku's a capable fighter." Like, to see him try to figure out Jiren is to really watch someone at the highest level being able to figure things out. Same thing with Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? Here, these fights happen so casually that it becomes more of like, it feels like they're foiling Team Rocket more than actually having a fight. Anyway, Blind Goku still around. But then the final Shenron shows up. Is he? He's not called Mega Shenron at this point. He's called Sin Shenron.
Yeah,
Sin Shenron and sniped. Snipe Nova out of nowhere.
Snipe Nova Ring Shenron. Completely got him out the paint. Let's take a pause right there because we have to go into one of my favorite episodes of this entire thing.
I know where this is going.
The Heart of a Prince interlude. I call it the interlude. I don't want to say for no reason. This is the only attempt at Dragon Ball GT foreshadowing something to actually, I mean, it's not even foreshadowing if they explain it to you, but they go through this entire episode that they dedicate to Vegeta. Apparently someone was like, we haven't done much with Vegeta. Maybe the test and they did a lot of surveying and it was like, people aren't happy that Vegeta's not really around or that he has shorter hair. But Vegeta's there. As Goku's doing his thing, he's just training in his crib. Upset. Mad. Going through the history of them fighting. This episode is truly not even really about Vegeta as much as it is about his love affair with Goku. And I want to read a quote here. And if you read this quote out of context, it fully sounds like he's in love with Goku. More so than actually this is my rival. Can I use my Vegeta voice or you want me to just read it?
No, you gotta do it in the Vegeta voice. You know what? Hey, when you read it, put a little sass in it. Put a little
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that.
In the Vegeta voice.
This is on wax.
That's crazy.
No, this is really his coming out party.
It says
the closet doors are made of glass.
Confession, you gotta get it.
These are his confessions for sure. He says, "You let me go. I couldn't believe it. I thought this was an act of a sentimental fool. But later I realized that I was being spared by you was worse than dying, Kakarot. Because now I couldn't get you out of my mind. I had to live with you every second of the day. That one act challenged everything I'd ever believed in. Everything that I'd known. Here's the best line. You were unraveling my reality from the inside out."
You gotta play the entire confessions instrumental while you do this, bro.
You were unraveling my reality from the inside out.
Oh man,
is insane.
Dog, that's not in Harlem.
It doesn't end there. I begged you to forget your feelings. I thought they would get you killed. But it was your feelings that helped you transform. It was the rage you felt when Frieza hurt your loved ones that pushed you over the top. I thought I believed, yes, but you were right, Kakarot. Suddenly I was up against insurmountable odds. Death was imminent, but I didn't care about myself. I could only think about my son. I decided to shed mortal coil in attack that would rid the earth of the monster for good, so that my son could live on. And then he says, the greatest battle that ever waged was taking place, and I was reduced to being its witness. Is that my lot in life? To bear witness to your strength? To be the only one strong enough to be able to fathom the depth of your might? Ha! I refuse to play that role. It's very Shakespearean, to be honest with you. Kind of, dost thou, Hamlet? He is having
not to be,
it's a good quote unquote moment, I guess, because
it's good. It's only good because it's Vegeta, and you know what Vegeta has been through as a character throughout this entire show. The only reason it's good is because of everything built between entire Dragon Ball Z. This is not good for anything built in Dragon Ball GT. But he goes to his wife, who sees him longing after this man's strength. It's like, I got to do something. Get my man back. So she's in the lab with the Blutz wave generator. Blutz wave generator. What's it for? It's for you, silly, to help you transform to Super Saiyan 4. What? Are you serious? That device can help me become a Super Saiyan 4?
Okay, pause. Because I'll say this is the one good moment of continuity in GT.
Okay.
Simply because Goku went ape in the Baby Saga, and he was able to control it and become Super Saiyan 4. This is the one time where Bloodwave turning him to ape because it was Super Ape Baby or whatever. Like, this is the one time where I can say, okay, the logic here actually makes some amount of sense for Vegeta going Super Saiyan 4.
But he using these artificial Bloodwaves.
Yeah, he got PEDs.
Yeah, he does. Listen, he's not natty. He's not all natty, bro. We gotta put an asterisk next to his name when we put him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, this is. Bulma explains the initial transformation was triggered by the Bloodwaves reflecting off of Earth, but Goku just became a wild beast. He was out of control, and it was Pan who helped him. But once Goku became fully conscious of himself again, it sparked this transformation. Of course, he was still also absorbing Bloodwave. That's it, Super Saiyan 4. Hold on, let me move to the thing. She says, my favorite quote, Bulma says, but that was then and this is now. I know you're ready, I can tell. You've been training like never before. Okay, now we just need to get the conditions right for you. After that, you might even reach Super Saiyan 5. Super Saiyan 5? Are you serious? You really believe I can surpass? This episode is so funny. You really believe I can surpass Kakarot? You are the Prince of Saiyans, aren't you? Yes, I am. So Kakarot, the race isn't over yet, is it? The day of the Dark Horse is coming to an end. The true thoroughbred is making his move to the front of the pack. To which Bulma says, what about me? I think I deserve a little recognition. Well, if you're a prince, that makes me a princess, right? And Vegeta looks over at his old wife. This old lady who's trying to become a princess. I'm like, come on, man. You too old for this. Nonetheless, this is the foreshadowing to what we see through the fight between Goku and Shenron. Which to me, this it's laid out really terribly, because is it before Vegeta shows up that he absorbs the Dragon Balls or after?
It's before.
So Vegeta shows up, he transforms to Super Saiyan 4, he gets the moment, but
Vegeta pulls up after he
absorbs the Dragon
Balls.
Yeah.
So he can't really. He's still not even strong enough to really do anything. But their solution for that is fusion. He's like, okay, we're at the same level now. We could clearly fuse. To me, the Super Saiyan 4 of Vegeta is knowing how Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 1. Knowing how he turned Super Saiyan 2. Him turning Super Saiyan 4, we never see Super Saiyan 3, by the way, until Daima. Mm-hmm. But it just feels cheap. It feels...
It's whack, too, that they go through the whole notion of, like, him having to become the ape, and then the golden ape, and then finally get it. Like, it was just so long-winded on an already long-winded arc of, and then him and his internal monologue of, like... while he's a monkey. It's just bad. It's just bad bumps.
I thought you were gonna do the voice. Sorry.
You've done such a good one. I feel scared.
Oh, okay. I hope it was good. Yeah. I hope it was good. With that said, I don't have a lot of notes for this section because to me, I really wanted it to be over at this point. Because the Shenron to me it's not a great villain, not a particularly good villain. Revived from the wish to revive everyone on Namek, killed by Frieza. Okay, sure. So I guess he's the strongest considering he required the most people to revive. I have in my notes, let's talk about Oob for a second.
What ass? What an ass character. What a waste of my time, your time. What a waste of a good character.
Did they stop calling him Majub?
I think they did. They were just like, we're just gonna shorten it back up to Oob.
Yeah.
Listen, Boo sacrificed himself, sacrificed kicking it with the homies to fuse with a nigga that gets his ass kicked every time. Like, I would be so upset. Like, I wasted a lot. Like, you know, like I wasted a lot of investment here.
Yeah, Oob isn't fully realized even to the slightest. To the point I think it actually might be racist. That someone who was sent to be, essentially they skipped over Gohan. They said, all right, Gohan, you're done for. They built up Oob to say, okay, he's going to be the future. And then never did anything with him other than the moment of him refusing with Boo. So he doesn't really get a moment, never really got a chance to breathe, is immediately outclassed, just almost immediately. Just Oob, it's just bad for Oob. What do you think, AD?
No, I agree. At that point, I would have figured out how to just like defuse them and let Majin Buu try to handle it, because it seems like nothing's working here.
Yeah. Anyway, Oob is a boob. They fuse. We get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, who at this point is the strongest being in all of Dragon Ball up to this point. Who knows if it still exists? Thoughts on Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta? Fusions never really lead to the kill, huh?
Not at all.
No, they're for a pop, cheap pop.
Yeah.
Cheap pop.
It's literally just like a what if they did this thing, and the thing never really comes to fruition or what their intended purpose was. And for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, he was really just the coolest nigga for like 20 plus 25 30 years, really. You know what I'm saying? Just to see this man pop on screen for 10 seconds, do a flex, kick a ball back into space that turns negative energy to positive energy. Like, okay, this is the coolest nigga. Big Bang Kamehameha. Yeah.
Reverse curse energy type beat.
Yeah.
It's just it just is what it is. And then he defuses because they said, well, it's only been 15 minutes. And it was like, I guess we use more power and it shortens the time. And I was like, okay, that's kind of whack. Should I just skip to the end? I don't think there's much. Go ahead.
The part after this kind of pissed me off because they're like, let's fuse again. And then Gohan is sitting off to the side like, oh, everybody else is like, yeah, we got to go help them. And Gohan is off to the side like, no, we can't. We just can't. Why can't we? Because we're not strong enough. But
you think Gohan just put on the fit to feel something? He still has glasses on.
Hey man, you need to take those shits off.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Don't ruin the glasses.
Don't ruin the gi. You're disrespecting, not even trying to.
Hey, I wish that he had like sports glasses that he switched into, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles.
Oh, that'd be fire.
To fight.
That would be fire.
It would be fun. They had a moment where like he gets like punched really hard, and they knock off like the Wendell Carter Jr. glasses, and then whoever the enemy is picks him up like LeBron, and just put him on his face. Like I need a moment like that. But
I mean, there's not a lot that happens after this. I mean, I think the Z Fighters as a team, the rest of the Saiyans, including Goten, attempts to really fight him off for a bit. Doesn't really work. It allows Goku to, however, build up the Spirit Bomb. I'm skipping over the part where Nova Shenron shows back up and then gets killed. It's really irrelevant at this point. This is what I mean, like, I kind of wasting time. Like,
yeah,
you killed Nova
Shenron. The Dragon Ball.
Yeah, he eats the Dragon Ball. It shows up on his forehead. They don't really know why it shows up on his forehead. I still don't know why it showed up on his forehead. But they use the Spirit Bomb.
God, I forgot that did happen. Jesus Christ.
They use the Spirit Bomb. It's not really, it's like a Spirit Bomb that gets energy from the entire universe. Kills Nova Shenron. That is the end of that. Let's talk about the final episode of GT.
This is the best episode in the entire series.
Yeah.
So I would have said that 20 years ago. I don't know.
You want to know why it's the best episode?
It's over.
Okay, explain.
Because it's the end of GT.
I knew it.
That's why it's the best episode. Because you know what? This means I'm done. This means we're all done here. We can move on.
So, 80, let me ask you this question. How did you feel about this episode before Dragon Ball Super came out?
It was a decent, like, here's the thing, right? As a kid, I probably liked it a lot simply because, one, I didn't really experience like the Super 17 arc or whatever like that for real.
Sure.
So the runtime through Baby Saga to this felt almost kind of clean in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing the end of Goku and seeing like Goku Jr., Vegeta Jr., Goku running and meeting everybody else from
No
Dragon
offense,
Ball.
that's my least favorite part, but go on.
I mean, I no, like I'm saying this as a kid, from a kid.
Yeah.
Revisiting this, because I haven't revisited this in a good minute, like probably a decade plus.
Mm-hmm. Since before Super.
Yeah, like this is kind of nasty, dog. I'm not even going.
Yeah.
Like knowing what we know about Super and Daima and like what they do with the characters and like thinking about this is the worst part about like Dragon Ball and fandoms and everything like that, but just the continuity of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, I'm just not rocking with it. Like this is not it.
LJ, what do you think about this episode?
No, I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, dang, this is, Goku fuses into Shenron on his back. Oh, look at that. No, like, it felt all emotional and sentimental, and Goku's finally like, I'm
it's
done.
called Dragon Ball. This is what it's all about.
This is, like he's done. He's actually going to rest in peace, like he never becomes an adult again. He just stays a kid forever. And now I watched it now, and I was just like, thank fucking God I'm done watching this. It's just like,
I'm trying to think.
Good grief.
Knowing everything I know now, I don't like this episode. I like the moment with Krillin and Goku sparring. I thought that was a good callback. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like it wraps up really anyone's journey, especially of the entire series, in a very notable way. It just kind of feels like Goku is disappearing again. In fact, I believe the best ending. I mean, if Dragon Ball ended at the Cell Saga, it probably would have been on top. Like it probably would have been. And even the Buu Saga ending, minus that final episode, where they have the tournament, I could do without the tournament. The Buu Saga ending, also good. This just is the Goku Jr., Vegeta Jr. somehow finding their way back to one another, fight forever.
Yeah.
And they're just casually Super Saiyan. Like
the before that, the funniest moment of like him going to hell and Piccolo is there fighting crime and shit, and he just sees Goku and is like, yeah, I'm leaving. He's like, bro, did you die? Like,
yeah, he's like, nah, I'm just leaving. He's like, no, I'm leaving this time. No, I'll leave. One day you'll make it out of hell. And he's like, I doubt it. If you're not around, I highly doubt it, because no one can figure this thing out. Goku's a hero, an actual hero. He gets like a statue and shit. Goku's final words are, "Till we meet again." I'm trying to think, what would be an actually good ending to the Dragon Ball series as a whole? Like, the ending has to be just like, hopefully everyone's alive and living well, right?
Goku gotta die.
Nah, he can't die.
He gotta die, bro. That's the only way.
It has to.
As long as Goku is still alive, right? That means he's always going to be on the hunt for the next danger, which means Dragon Ball can never really end, because Goku is always going to be hunting for some evil nigga or some nigga that can fight in some far parts of the universe, especially now with the access that he got. Like, y'all done gave this man an all access passport to any country in the goddamn, universe. So he's always going to be looking for the fade.
They got to seal this nigga. They got to seal him like fucking Yami Yugi or Rika or something like that. Like, just lock that nigga up, bro. Like,
listen, the final villain gotta be a villain that takes over Goku's mind or something, and the only way you can stop him is to kill Goku, and Goku dies, and finally,
we can't use the Dragon Balls to bring him back this time.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
I don't know, something about it just I think they'd be better off with a happy ending. I think like most Dragon Ball endings that end pretty notable and happy end up being pretty good. Because they know how to kind of like really actually wrap up a story, bring it full circle type vibe. The ending of the Buu saga, which Goku's alive. He's able to spend it back with his family. They defeat Buu, all the other stuff like that. Save the universe. That was pretty good. Everyone got to die eventually. So everyone at the end of GT is dead except Pan. Pan is old as dirt. And she's just like, my grandpa used to, and I'm just like, shut up. No one cares. You were the worst person in this show. Like, I would have rather Master Roshi still be alive than you be alive. Like, you were, and I say this about a small fictional girl, but it's like you were the worst part of this entire thing, and the mere fact that you were the one who carries on the legacy and has to tell the stories to me is just nasty, because she was the worst thing to experience in this show. Now they make Pan better in the movie, way less integral to the plot, way less annoying, way less everything, but just bad. But I'm not a fan of the ending, but it's a solid ending. And at the time, I was a fan of the ending. I will say that. I was just like, oh, okay, we're wrapping it up. I feel good. Hopefully one day we'll see Goku again. And, 25 years later, we've seen him multiple times. We're about to see him next year. Final thoughts about Dragon Ball GT as a whole.
Yeah, you know what? It is what it was. Like, I understand that GT feels like a cash grab, and that's what I think it was, and that's what I think it did. It was just like, how can we continue to make money off of this name? How can we continue to at least push something out? And that's really it. And hey, listen, sometimes the GOATs do things like that, and they just so happen to do it, and it sucked, and you go, okay, well, gotta move on now. That's pretty much it. I think GT doesn't sting as much because of everything we have gotten after with Super and Daima and all the other things. So they've definitely course corrected from that, and it's really just like the forgotten child, but it still exists. And so you go back to it, you're like, I understand why they never bring you up.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat. I think it's just, I don't really think there's much I can add to that other than the fact that, like, it's really just something that has great ideas, or I'm not even going to say great, but like decent ideas that we see done better in different aspects.
Bad execution.
Yeah, the execution is just very poor. It really feels like they just tried to, keep that time slot going in Japan and keep the animators busy,
Yeah, Dragon Ball GT, definitely. I think that's the main point I got from this, is like, it was interesting plot points. It was an interesting aspect to like have Dragon Ball actually look at itself. It's like a commentary on itself about the use of the Dragon Balls, maybe overuse of the Dragon Balls, and how it actually plays a role in like their own destruction. It's interesting commentary, but the execution of it overall is incredibly poor. There's no development. There's no foreshadowing. There's no great There's one great moment, which is Super Saiyan 4, but there's nothing that really follows up to it. All the characters that you love don't get any development. All the people that you enjoyed from the original thing barely are featured in the show. Goku's a kid for the entire thing, and it really stunts not only just his growth and literally, but it stunts his growth development wise in terms of how he's able to interact with people in the show. Dragon Ball GT, this, probably came out and everyone was like, woo, but ultimately looking like trash is what I'll say at the end of the day. It is that Harriet Winslow tweet. It is this. I say this as we've done this 228 episodes. This might be the worst series that we've ever covered on the show. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1 was pretty bad, but it was funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing. That's the thing that this was missing this entire time.
It was missing enjoyment, right?
Like I understand this was ass, but it was like, oh, this is still really fun to watch. Like, it's hilarious, and you got these little funny moments or whatnot. But we don't even get that. Like, it just becomes, it really just becomes a smorgasbord of like BS. Like, it's horrible, and there's not a moment in this whole entire series I'm like, that wasn't the best writing, or that wasn't the best this or that, and maybe the arc was, but right. I still enjoyed myself. Like, I never had that moment.
No, not at all. Okay, real fun exercise before we get out of here. What would you do to improve the various arcs of the show? What would you have done? I mean, there's a million ways you can improve anything on the show by just letting it out. But is there an arc you would like, this could have been good if it were done better? Like, this could have been really, really good.
Like I said, I think that I have like at least 3 big things.
Yeah.
First thing is, like, if you're going to do the Shadow Dragon stuff, like, at least have it continuous with the Black Star balls. Let that be like its thing. Like, do something with both of those ideas and like kind of combine them into one thing. I think that would have been at least a more cohesive story, rather than having 2 separate Dragon Balls and then like having to come up with a plot point that has nothing to do with either of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The other thing is, let other characters actually do something. Don't put everything all on Goku. Like I said, I feel like this is the Superman thing with him, and this is where a lot of the can Goku beat Superman type stuff comes from, just because he's literally doing everything to like heal the world, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's too much on Goku's shoulders, and we have so many characters that could be doing something. When even in Dragon Ball, he was probably doing a lot of stuff by himself for the most part. But he didn't win fights like right away. He still had to have some help before he came back around and did stuff. And in Z, he never really won a fight by himself. Everybody had to help him. It was probably the power of friendship that got him through a lot of the trials in Z. And he died twice. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to like just let other people do things and like have Goku be a catalyst for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think the last thing is really to just like shorten the length, like Daima did that the best way possible. Like, you ain't got to do a lot of filler, bro. Like, just
But Daima was like essentially one arc, right? Like, Daima, if you compare anything to Daima's like the first arc.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it could have like combined the Shadow Dragon stuff with the Black Star stuff, and that could have been all one arc itself.
I think it's closest comparison you could have with GT is Daima, considering Daima is also not based off of any source material. But the way they handle things in Daima is just it's way more fleshed out. They use the 22 episodes to really like flesh out the story, the beats, the characters, everyone that you're introduced to, so you feel something about them. Even the moments that Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 4 and all this other stuff get really, really good story told through it. Even albeit at points, I thought Daima was boring as hell. I was like, oh, come on. Next town, beat up, break spaceship. Come on, man. We got to do better than this. Still, sensical, logical, and told a better story than what happened in GT. GT is terrible. Shout out to the fans of GT. y'all ironic sons of bitches. Shout out to you guys. There is legitimately watching this series to talk about it for the show. I'm sure there's a reason why you haven't watched it in 10 years, AD, right?
Yeah.
Because it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have the income to revisit it. And I definitely
there's no replay value for this show. There's none at all.
It should have really took from the Daima playbook. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm just like, they really wanted GT to be a thing. Like, that's why they gave it multiple arcs. Like, to be honest,
but it could never be done, by the way. Just
like the slogan is. I was going to say the slogan is "Welcome to the Grand Tour," but like, what is the Grand Tour for this? Like,
but my thing is this: they could have could have turned this Shenron arc and just let it be that, and actually fleshed out. Like, I think the concept is actually kind of cool. Like, okay, the Dragon Balls do store this negative energy. Y'all made one too many wishes. Now the Dragon Balls have kind of turned evil a little bit, and they had some room to play there with, like, oh yeah, maybe we should have explained this to you, or maybe this should have happened, or whatnot, or maybe someone messed up and made some evil Dragon Balls or something like that. Now they all have come alive and they have to go search and hunt them down. Like, that in itself, right? That right there can give you a really solid 20 episodes. If you flesh it out and actually build the world around it and actually get all the other characters involved, and it doesn't have to be this thing of like Goku and Pan adventures, and it feels so Looney Tune-ish of just like, all right, like, it would have been tight if one of the dragons came and it was, Tien had to square up with one of them because it went to his location, or like you send all the other people out, so you kind of get these different aspects of it all. But once again, they wanted GT to be a thing. They wanted it to be a Z level entity, and they wanted to like have all these multiple storylines and all these things.
Did they? Did they want it to be Z level?
They did. There's no way that you do something like this and not want it to be Z level.
But if you do a Z level, you want to include the Toriyama's closely in this, and so much. Like, I don't know if they wanted to be Z level. I think they just wanted to, like AD said, continue within the time slot of this show and make sure that there was something on. I think, this could never. One of the reasons I said this could never be Daima is because I believe Dragon Ball, as much as Dragon Ball has influence, it's had about 25 years of influence from other anime to really step its game up. I think there's so much that has been included, and there's been so much that has been done throughout the world of anime and storytelling and stuff like that, that inform the quality of Daima, and there's so much that's been commentary on Dragon Ball itself, right? Things that have been done, arcs that have been done. People have been watching Dragon Ball Z 40 times, 50 times over and over. So much commentary on the series that informed Daima that it probably could have never happened at GT. Maybe if GT comes out like 10 years after it could have been a little bit better. But the mere fact it kind of like jumped back in, there was really no story, there was really no plot. Even the final episode of Dragon Ball Z feels dumb compared to this. It feels included within this, but it also feels dumb.
I feel like if they want to revisit this plot and make it like something super related, this is how you could do it. Just like Super Dragon Balls. Put a Dragon Ball in each of the universes. That way we can still have the little Grand Tour moniker and just like visit each universe, see what they got going on, search for the Dragon Balls. Like, if you need an overarching bad, let one of the Dragon Balls be guarded by a Shadow Dragon or whatever like that. Collect all the Dragon Balls, you make your wish or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, let that be something. It gives an opportunity for us to visit all of these places that we've established and kind of let these characters that we know grow. Like, if you want to make a Pan an established character, let her not be who you guys establish here as somewhat of an annoying damsel in distress. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't get really, she has 1.5 good moments, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Throughout this entire thing. And you guys put her in the forefront to be a main character, and nothing comes from it other than seeing how she's somewhat influenced by Goku. You know, like there's so much more that could be done. But if you want to like make her a character, let this be her character journey arc. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a lot of Z, B, Gohan, and Vegeta. You know, like it's nothing to like give opportunities for these other characters to grow if you want them to be Saiyan related or how they are influenced by Goku in whatever way. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. GT was very bad.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did it. I think in terms of just the premise of this podcast, to look out and everything Dragon Ball related is definitely something to continue to knock off the list. But this was watching this on a weekly basis. But with that said, we're over with GT for now. What we're gonna do is probably take a couple weeks off. Actually, I don't know. After the anniversary, maybe do a special episode for that. Because the anniversary is in like less than a month. But maybe we do a special episode for that. But we'll take a couple of weeks off as we prepare for our next season of Rewatch, which you guys will hear about on social media. Until then, we have AD's new podcast, Risekai, which you can tune into. We have none other than Subside Dubside, which should be returning next month, which you can also tap into. And I'm excited to just go back to winter anime. Just let's go back to the stuff that makes. I might watch Super. I might watch Daima again.
Palate cleanse.
Yeah, just to feel something. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the great comments on this series of the show. Anyone who has listened, this has been terrible, but it's been great to actually revisit and talk about it and really explore it and all the other things like that. Any final words, LJ and or AD?
You know what? Shout out to the United States hockey, gold medal, men's and women.
There you go.
You know what? On top of the world, hockey is not a Canadian sport anymore. It officially belongs to the United States. We'll see you on Utah in 2030, just so we can defend our gold. Yankees baseball is back. So by the time y'all hear me again on this podcast, I will either be full of stress and or full of glee, maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah, man.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. Listen to Risekai. We're trying to hold it down. Other than that, I hate Atlanta sports. That's pretty much how this is gonna go.
I'm really tied with the Nets right now. It's really going down to the wire.
I'm sick of this. I'm going to the Hawks Nets game in March.
Okay. Tune into that. So, if you see AD there, that's the game where they're giving out the hats, right?
I think so.
Okay. Let's get the hats. Let's get it. Thank you guys for tuning in to The Lookout. Of course, we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.